few days late with my May recap, but I'm sure you can understand this year has been a bit crazy for everyone. So I'm going to be talking about the movies, TV shows that I watched in May, as well as the games and some board games I have played. And I'm going to go into some of the stuff that I've just covered this past week. Cinemas still aren't open in Australia. I'm not sure how the rest of the world is going, but hopefully we're slowly reopening when it's safer. But right now, streaming services have basically been giving me the goods. So in Australia, we have Netflix, Stan, and Foxtel that I've basically been watching things on. So I finally got to watch 12 Monkeys. I didn't actually realize this was a plague virus-based movie. I knew it was set in a psychiatric hospital and that was kind of set in the future. I didn't realize how much of a mess of a story this movie is. It's all over the place. The acting by Bruce Willis and Brad Pitt are fantastic. There's nothing wrong with the acting, but the movie is just all over the place and it's very, very hard to keep up. I am very happy that I finally watched 12 Monkeys, but I can understand why not everyone likes this film. So that was the first film I finally watched in May. Another older film that I finally watched was Phonebooth. I've been wanting to watch this movie for quite a while. I actually like movies where they're just set in the one location. Some movies can't really hold the audience attention that well when it's in that one scene, but some movies do it brilliantly, and Phonebooth is one of those movies. Colin Farrell is fantastic. There is no question. He is a fantastic actor. He does incredibly well in this movie. Kiefer Sutherland, even though he's only doing the voice acting, you don't really see him on screen that much. He does a fantastic job with the voice acting. I really enjoyed Phonebooth. If you like those movies where there's just one location, or if you're looking for movies like that, I recommend checking that one out. Two new movies was The Wrong Missy. I have been a fan of David Spade for pretty much most of my life, from TV shows he was in to other movies he's been in. Obviously, he's in a lot of Adam Sandler type movies. The Wrong Missy starts off very, very cringeworthy. I was not a fan to start off with. I like the actress, but wow, she is crazy. But as it goes on, it gets funnier and it does get touching. I did actually really enjoy The Wrong Missy. The humor in the film is not for everyone, but for what it was, I did enjoy it. I'm glad it was just on Netflix. It's not something you would pay money for in the cinema or even to own on DVD. But if you have Netflix, worth checking out. And the last film, this was actually on Foxtel. I'm not sure exactly where else it's available. I actually thought this was a TV show when I saw the ads, but it's a movie. So this is called Bad Education. So this stars Hugh Jackman. It's based on a true story. Basically, this educator has been taking money from the taxpayers that are giving money to the school and going off and doing his private escapades. The film is brilliant. Hugh Jackman is incredible in this. Allison is amazing as always. She's fantastic in every movie. Ray Romano is in it. He's pretty good. He doesn't really have much screen time. A lot of the other cast don't have that much screen time. Hugh Jackman is basically the star of this film. This is his film. And he's fantastic. It is a really great film. I didn't realize it was a true story until closer towards the end. But for what it was and for how they present it, it is incredible. But yeah, the promoting for this film, I honestly thought it was a TV show because I kept seeing the same ad over and over, and like, it airs this day. I'm like, oh yeah, it must start from this date. But yeah, so another movie worth checking out. It's called Bad Education. This brings me to some TV shows. So on Stan, there is Normal People. So this is based upon a book. I have not read the book, but a lot of my friends were talking about how the TV show was so good and how the sex scenes were raunchy, and everyone just seemed to be talking about these sex scenes. And so I'm like, okay, show me what you've got. And I'm not exactly sure what sex scenes people were finding so hot. The sex scenes are really average. A lot of people were saying they were really long and drawn out sex scenes. Again, I'm not seeing it. Maybe I've watched way too many TV shows with sex scenes in them, but for what it was, I thought it was really tame. The relationship, while it's cute, I just couldn't really buy into the relationship. They came off very unhealthy most of the time. So I'm just like, go your separate ways. Like, you would be better off and healthier with other people away from each other. But they kept proving me wrong because they kept going back and forth with each other. And then every time they were apart, they would go and date these other people that were even worse for them. So it was really hard to kind of be happy for them, what was happening in the TV show, because it is a very depressing TV show. Sometimes it's funny. The cinematography and the storytelling of it is fantastic. It's just, if you're looking for a feel-good show, Normal People is not it. Another one on Stan is called The Baker and the Beauty. Going into this show, I did previously talk about before, but now the whole season is out. So going into it before, I thought it was going to be basically a daytime soap. It was going to be horrible. And while it is kind of predictable and it does have that daytime TV show movie feel to it, it's actually really, really sweet. And I do really enjoy it. Daniel and Noah are the main characters, and while their relationship is super cute, I'm actually really enjoying the background characters way more. I really like his sister Natalie and her coming out. Her and her girlfriend are so cute together. Mateo and Vanessa, they are super adorable. I'm hoping they actually do continue building up a relationship. Their parents, I do adore their parents, but the kind of the drama surrounding whether they should expand their cafe to a restaurant, and then the money issues, it just got way out of hand. I'm like, this is too much for just one season. Like, they were really feeling good and then got really serious way too quick with everything around. Lewis, I adore, and he's grown on me immensely. So I do really like The Baker and the Beauty. I thought I was going to hate it, but I really enjoy it. And then the way it ended, I feel like they are rushing things too much, but they are so desperate for people to want more on this show that they're like, hey, here's a huge finale, renew us so you can see more. So I am hoping they do get renewed just so the show does continue, but I do feel like they've rushed it too much in the desperate plea to get renewed, that season 2 will not live up to season 1. I'm hoping they prove me wrong, but that's my thoughts on that show. If you've seen The Baker and the Beauty, let me know what you think below. Then going to Netflix, I decided to rewatch Prison Break. Prison Break is one of my favorite TV shows. Season 1 is by far the best. It's always going to be superior. Like, the way they came up with the idea of him breaking out of prison based on tattoos, it was an awesome idea. I love Wentworth Miller. He's always been a fantastic actor. Dominic Purcell, I love. And just their chemistry as brothers is fantastic. So I just really wanted to rewatch season 1. Originally, I was like, oh, I might just rewatch season 1, leave it there. But I decided just to rewatch everything, including the new season they did a few years ago. When I watched the season 5 for the first time, I wasn't that into it. I'm like, this is way too different. As season 5 focused a lot on ISIS. It's a lot in a different country. I'm like, this is so different going from American government conspiracies to now ISIS. I know they had that huge year gap in the story and they wanted something different to bring people in. They wanted to be topical, but it was just really, really different. So rewatching it all, I just love it. If you haven't seen Prison Break, I do recommend checking it out. Even if you just watch the first season, just to check out what it's about. It's all on Netflix. People still have a lot of free time. Check it out. Or rewatch it if you've already seen it. Another show that I've been recommended, it's been so many years. Every year I'm getting recommended this show by so many people. I kept putting it off because I'm like, guys are talking this show up so much, I feel like I'm going to watch it and be disappointed. But no, I finally decided to dive right in and watch Peaky Blinders. I love Cillian Murphy, so I was really excited just to check out the show for him. He's a brilliant actor. I've been wanting to watch him in more and more things. And I'm like, why am I putting this off? He's clearly in this show. Everyone loves this show. I will check it out. And I love this show. It is so good. At the moment, there is 5 seasons. I've watched all of the seasons. There's 6 episodes to each season, so they're very short, very to the point. Each episode is an hour long. So it's a very short show to get into. My biggest problem right now is I really want season 6. And because of COVID, it has been delayed and it might not come out until 2021 or 22. I'm just like, I don't want to wait that long. But yes, I love Peaky Blinders. The theme song has been stuck in my head every day since watching it. I already liked the song, but now it's just there more. And they don't just use it as a theme song. Like, the song plays many times throughout each episode. The acting is fantastic. Admittedly, watching it for the first time, the jump is very confusing. Because one minute will be set in this year and then something will happen. It'll be 2 years later. I'm like, wait, when did this happen? And the only way you really know is they time jump is because they're referencing like, oh, I haven't seen such and such for like 2 years. I'm like, what? You saw them last episode. What do you mean? So it does get confusing a little bit when they're talking about the time jumps, but otherwise I loved Peaky Blinders. The performances are amazing. If you haven't checked out this TV show, I'm going to sound like everyone else, but you should absolutely check it out. It's amazing. And Cillian Murphy, oh, God love him. He is incredible. So they're the TV shows I've watched in May and the movies. So just to recap quickly, 12 Monkeys, The Wrong Missy, Phonebooth, Bad Education were the movies. TV shows were Normal People, The Baker and the Beauty, Prison Break, and Peaky Blinders. And then this brought me to the games. So there's a few video games I played. I have finally played Firewatch. Really short indie game, very beautiful. It's really nice storytelling. Very short game. It's a really easy to get all the trophies for if you're kind of one of those trophy hunters. Really simple, beautiful game. I bought it when it was on sale on the PlayStation Store for I think $5. So if you see it on sale, it's a good game to grab. 2 more games that were really cheap on the PlayStation Store as well was Little Nightmares and Abzu. So Little Nightmares is kind of like this horror puzzle game. It's probably one of the creepiest games I have played in quite some time. It's actually a really difficult kind of puzzle game because you have to take your time to work out the puzzles. There's a lot of trial and error that I found. And a lot of the time you don't have the time to kind of run back and forth because it's either electricity that might electrocute you if you're not quick enough, or there is someone chasing you. So I really enjoyed it for what it was. I haven't played all of it yet because I was jumping back and forth between a few games, but I did enjoy it for what I've played so far. Abzu is very different. So you're underwater with this one, you're swimming around, looking at fish, and it's very relaxing and peaceful. You can just sit there and meditate and it's just like watches the fishes swim around. So going from a really creepy horror thriller game to just relaxing peaceful game. It's very beautiful. The water is just amazing. Yeah, worth checking out if you just want something to like relax and chill to when the world's falling apart. And then the last game I played was Maneater. So I actually went from Little Nightmares, Abzu to Maneater because Maneater just came out. I absolutely loved Maneater. It's probably one of the funnest games I played in quite some time. So you're basically a shark. You start out, or when you're doing the tutorial, you're an adult. But when you get really into the game, you're a pup. So basically you're starting out as this little shark. And your goal is basically to revenge the death of your mother. So you are wanting to eat all the little fishes, fight alligators, fight barracuda, swordfish, there's turtles, seals, and then as you go on and as you get bigger in size and get into the bigger parts of the ocean, so you kind of start in lakes and rivers first, and then you move on to the Gulf, the ocean, and you come across orcas and sperm whales. So as you go from level 1 all the way to your mega shark 9 meters level, you're level 30. So basically you're just going around eating all these things so you can basically build your level up, evolve. You attack humans, and then these will get the hunters to come after you. You defeat the hunters, you destroy their boats to get the bounty hunters after you. And then when you defeat the bounty hunters, you then get better evolutions. So you can get electric body, tail, shadow teeth, bone teeth. So they all give you different abilities, different organs, so you can get more health, you can collect materials better. So that's basically the game. You're just evolving your shark to be able to go into this small story. So there is a small storyline. Basically, you're looking for Scaly Pete. He's the one that killed your mother and you're wanting to get revenge on him. So every now and then there will be cut scenes, which is where my main problem came in. My game was so glitchy. There was 2 cut scenes after watching Scaly Pete where my game just completely crashed and came up with an error screen saying, you know, error, must shut down, report. But then luckily it does auto save, so I didn't lose anything. And there was another time where I was fighting a shark. I think it might have been one of the apex creatures. As soon as I finished fighting the apex, it then crashed. Luckily, it came up that auto saved. I didn't have to fight the apex creature again, but it was just really annoying that it was crashing so many times with a game I was enjoying a lot. And then as I got through more of the locations and I was able to swim quicker and attack quicker, I then had more issues. So there was a lot of time freezes. It was kind of like playing Call of Duty on dial-up. Like, that's how bad the lag I was getting was. And it was just infuriating because when you're a shark, you are having to attack quick, you're attacking the boats quick, you have to attack the higher level creatures. Like if a great white is attacking you or the orca, there is one apex killer orca attacking you that is level 40 and the max level you can go is 30. So you basically have to be quick because it's not about like the strength, you have to be smart in like fighting them. It just kept freezing up and was infuriating. So to enjoy a game so much and have that much lag and that many issues, it was really upsetting. So it did ruin the game a little bit for me, but for what it was, I really did enjoy it. I'm hoping they fix the bug so people can buy it at a later date and enjoy it. I ended up returning my copy because I bought a physical copy and put it on a pre-order for The Last of Us. But yeah, I'm really disappointed that as much as I loved the game, it just left a bad taste in my mouth. But yeah, I do recommend checking out Maneater, but just maybe wait, so it's not as buggy. And I feel like they might fix a few of the bugs because I managed to beat the killer orca in such like a shit way. Basically, I was just having a shit time fighting this enemy because it just kept freezing up on me. So I jumped up onto land because I had like this organ that could let me survive on land for a long time. So I'm just chilling up on this stage waiting for the orca to hopefully come up, or like maybe I could sneak up behind them, like jump down and attack. And I was just like getting over it, like I was just ranting. to myself, and then this orca jumped up after me. I'm like, oh no, fuck this. Jump back into the water because I'm like, I'm not fighting on land. And I got stuck and just like suffocated on land. And that's how I beat the orca. I'm sorry. So you can trick the game in certain ways, but it's not exactly something I recommend you do. But that's how I end up getting through the game. I use the bugs to my advantage. And then bringing to board games of May. So we played Marvel Legendary, which I really enjoyed this game the first time I played it. And it went forever since I played it again. And I actually won, so that's exciting. But it took me a long time to learn again how to play it. And we had a few expansions added in. If you have decided to look up Marvel Legendary, it's a really fun game. It's a deck building game. Really enjoyable, but do not get the expansion fear itself. It is garbage. It was really confusing and made the game way too confusing. There was way too many questions about what does this mean? How do we do this? And we had to keep stopping to read the rules, and it's just... yeah, so Marvel Legendary is good. I will do proper reviews for these board games eventually, but just to run down, Skull, it's kind of, you get like coasters and they've got skulls or flowers on them, and you're betting of how many can flip before you see a skull. My friends loved this game. I was a little concerned because of the price of the game, whether it was worth getting, but my friends loved it, so it was worth getting it. Another one I loved and my friends loved was Blockbuster. So basically, I got this for nostalgia reasons. I loved Blockbuster. I miss renting movies. But basically, it was a movie quiz game that I loved. You get 3 categories, basically. You have to say one word so you can guess the movie, act out or quote it. And there's a head-to-head part. So I really enjoyed Blockbuster. Cash and guns. Basically, you have these little foam guns. You aim at each other. Again, this was a pricey game. I'm like, oh, I'm not sure if it's worth getting. I'll borrow my work colleague's copy and see if my friends like it. They loved it. They loved aiming guns at each other. That was the main thing they loved. They're like, oh, I get why Americans love their guns so much. This is so much fun. I'm like, dorks, but I'm glad they liked it. Cash and Guns is a really fun game. Another one was Above and Below, which I really loved. It was a fantastic game. I really want to play it again. My biggest issue with it is we got carried away because I played this with my work colleagues and we decided to do like board games drinking night. We got carried away with just talking complete shit that the game went for like maybe an hour longer than they recommend. Like, it went forever. So I really want to play it again and like actually concentrate on the game, but I really did enjoy it, and it was different to what I thought it was going to be. So that's basically May for you. So the video games was Firewatch, Little Nightmares, Abzu, and Maneater. Of course, I played some more Animal Crossing. And the board games were Marvel Legendary, Skull, Cash and Guns, Above and Below, Blockbuster. So this is how I'm keeping busy with cinemas being closed. I watched some more stuff in this past week of June, so I might as well just talk about them now. This stuff is all on Netflix. I watched Sweet Magnolias. They're the flowers. Anyway, I'm losing my mind. This show going into, I was not expecting to like it. I was just watching the trailer. I'm like, oh, this looks like Heart of Dixie, but like Christian, I guess. So I decided, oh, whatever, I'm just going to check it out. And the first episode, I'm like, what was that? Like, I'm not sure. Like, you know, it's okay. But what? Like, it was just, the characters were just more annoying than I thought they would be. But then I ended up watching the whole season in one night. So I guess I liked the show. The show reminded me a lot of Gilmore Girls and Heart of Dixie. It was kind of like them two shows mashed together. I love both of them, so I ended up really enjoying this show. I'm really annoyed. This is basically, they've done the same thing as The Baker and the Beauty. It has ended with a huge cliffhanger of season 1. And now I'm like, well, now I need season 2. I need answers. And unfortunately, unless the show is successful and it gets season 2, I'm never going to get the answers. And that's infuriating. Especially because it's generally like a feel-good show. It's about family, it's about friends, and then it ends on a cliffhanger. I'm like, that's not what I was expecting from this show. So I really did enjoy that. There was 2 animes I watched. One was Beastars. Whew, where do I start with this show? So basically, it's about this school of animals. You've got your carnivores, your herbivores, and they're meant to get along and just eat the diet that the school provides them. Basically, the carnivores are like, no meat for you, do not eat your fellow classmates. But lo and behold, something does happen, and one of the herbivores gets eaten, and they're like, who did it? And this wolf thinks it might have been him. He's feeling these urges that he hasn't felt ever. He's hungry. He wants to devour this rabbit that he oddly falls in love with. And then this rabbit is like, yeah, nah, this is weird. You're a wolf. I'm going to go and have sex with every other animal. She was a very slutty rabbit. I don't know how they came up with this idea. The idea of the show is interesting, but I also regret going through the tag of the show because holy furries, they are everywhere on this show. Wow. So it's a really interesting show, really weird concept. I was really into the show. I just want to ignore the fan base. The funniest thing though is it reminded me so much of Twilight. Basically, the wolf is Edward, and the rabbit is Bella, because Bella was always horny, wanting sex, and then Edward wanted to devour her in more ways than one. And then you have her friends that she's, more than friends with. It's just Polly Jacob. Like, there was a love triangle. And I'm like, this reminds me so much of Twilight. And just a lot of people I know that were raving about how good the show was men that were also shitting on Twilight at the same time. I'm like, this is hilarious. This is Twilight. Another one, which was an anime that I watched, which is very weird as well. I'm not actually sure how to say this name properly, but it's Dorohedoro. It's Netflix. Look it up. It's Dorohedoro. So basically this character has an alligator head and there is someone inside of him. So basically he eats people's heads so they can have a conversation with the voice person inside of them and work out who is in him and who he was originally, because he has lost his memory. He's been cursed, turned into this alligator, and he's like, I don't know who I am. And then all these other sorcerers basically have these weird masks they make of themselves, and one person cooks turkey and he gets a turkey head. And I honestly don't really know what was happening in this anime. I really loved watching it, but I'm still confused of what it was about. There was one part where they go into this party and there's dead bodies hanging up everywhere, and they revive them and bring them to life and take this disease out of their body, and they have a present just to give to them, and they just leave them hanging. I'm like, okay, what is happening? So yeah, it was a very strange anime. I enjoyed watching it. I'm hoping they make season 2 because I did really like watching it. I'm hoping season 2 explains more, but it is what it is, I guess. If you like anime, if you have Netflix that you have access to, worth checking out. And then the last show I have watched completely is Queer Eye season 5. I wish I didn't watch it so quick. I always watched it so quick and I'm like, I wish I had more episodes. Season 5 was really good. If you like any of the seasons of Queer Eye, if you like any of the episodes, you are going to love this, of course. Oh, Bobby, he does so much work reorganizing everyone's house, talking to everyone, and Tan just has to change their clothes. Anthony has to teach them how to cook this big sick as fuck meal. Jonathan, God love him, but all he does is cut their hair. And then Chromo, again, I love him, but he just boosts them up. But Bobby, give more love to Bobby. I just love Queer Eye. I really do. This season, of course, was fantastic. Each episode was really different. There was a first episode which was basically about a gay priest, and that was really different, basically changing the church to be more accepting when obviously all of the other guys have had to deal with that. There was episodes, of course, that made me cry as usual. They just get to me. Probably one of the best ones. Oh God, I forgot her name. Oh no. It was a really good episode. As her husband has ALS and she looks after him, and she just broke down saying it's like this long drawn out breakup because no matter what I do I can't save him, and I bawled. It was so sad. But yes, Queer Eye season 5 is out on Netflix. Watch it now. Love it. Enjoy it. And right now I am watching 13 Reasons Why season 4. I'm up to episode 4, and I already know that I'm going to end up doing a massive rant video like I did for season 3, because oh my God, it's turning into Pretty Little Lies. I don't know why they decided this was a good idea. I liked Pretty Little Lies, but these are 2 separate shows. What the fuck? Anyway, I will stop ranting now. So to recap, May was 12 Monkeys, The Wrong Missy, Phonebooth, Bad Education. The TV shows were Normal People, Peaky Blinders, Prison Break, and The Baker and the Beauty. Games were Firewatch, Abzu, Maneater, and Little Nightmares. Board games, Marvel Legendary, Skull, Cash and Guns, Above and Below, Blockbuster. And going to June, we have the TV shows Beastars, Queer Eye, Dorohedoro, and Sweet Magnolias. Sometimes I just shouldn't pronounce things. But anyway, comment below if you've watched any of these things. If you loved these things, what did you do in May? What do you recommend? And I will catch you at the end of this month or next week if I decide to rant and rave as I usually do. I hope everyone is staying safe out there, and yeah, thanks. Bye.